and welcome to Rod and Reel UK. Today you join us in fantastic sunny Dorset. Weather is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to get some fishing in. Today's idea, we're going to go for species, basically to go for anything that swims, but if we can get ourselves a nice black sea bream or even a place, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But anyway, enough me blabbing, let's get on with the fishing. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with the British coastline, you join us today down in Chesil Beach. Chesil is an 18-mile section of beach that runs all the way from Portland down to West Bay on the Dorset coastline. Supposedly it is absolutely amazing for fishing, but today will probably prove that otherwise. And there's also part of the Jurassic coastline, which is world famous for finding fossils. On the subject of fossils, today I was joined by my good mate Mike, and what we're doing now is just getting everything ready. The idea would be fishing one rod with a slightly smaller rigs, smaller hooks, and the other with a little bit of a larger bait at distance. So I'm just casting out my go-to dongle rig. Pretty sure this was armed with a little bit of squid, hoping for a ray or even a smooth hound out at distance. With all the baits in the water, it was just a case of waiting. And in all fairness, it didn't take too long to get our first set of bites. Mike had a really good rattle on the end of his rod, and we were convinced that we'd probably bring in a nice little sea bream. But no, this was not the case, and every time we'd reel in on both our rods, hooks would be completely stripped, and even weirder still, actually missing. So we fished approximately about an hour and a half now, up the tide. We had quite a lot of bites in all fairness, but for some reason we just cannot get whatever's out there on the end of the hook. I've got a feeling potentially it might be a trigger fish or two out there. Had a little hook with a bit of squid on the end and brought it in, and the hook's been completely bitten off. And the only thing I can think of that can do that is a trigger. But put some smaller hooks on now and see if we can trick whatever it is out there to get on the end of the line. We hoped that a change in tactic would pay off, but unfortunately it did not. Honestly, we were very surprised we did not get anything in at all, because some of the bites we're having were really, really good. And on any other occasion, when you'd be reeling in, you'd have a fish on the end of the line. But nope, not this time. Yeah, it's been pretty dire, to be honest, at the moment. The beach is absolutely lined with anglers all the way up to the top of Abbotsbury. And to be honest, not a lot of people have had a lot. There's been the old mackerel come out, benefit substantial. Nah, nothing. But keep persevering. At the end of the day, if you just give up straight away, you're never going to get something. And it's always, you always find it like the last minute of the day you end up getting something. So you just got to keep persevering. Despite the fishing being absolutely awful, the weather was absolutely glorious. However, when you're fishing on the shore, I've always found that going in the early mornings and evenings seems to be a little bit more productive, and especially when the day is overcast. It's ironic because you want to go out when the weather's good, especially when it's sunny, but sometimes these conditions aren't the best for productivity. But anyways, just about to get the old tanning oil out because I wanted to get it nice and crispy. And at the corner of my eye, I noticed Mike with a set of binos. Was he looking at me? I don't know, I felt a little bit uncomfortable. But no, turns out he was actually looking at a little feeding frenzy behind my back. So to add insult to injury, the little black-headed gulls have been absolutely crazy behind me, and they're actually managing to catch some nice little sand eels. So put sand eels on all the stuff now, because if that's on the beach, like we had that last end, that spider crab, likely if there's fish out there, they're going to be feeding on sand eels. So put them on. Are we going to get anything on there? It's worth a chuck. What seemed to be 1,000 casts later, we still caught absolutely all. Anyway, I noticed that Mike was fiddling with something on his tackle box, so I decided to take a little gander. It looks like Mike has decided to raid the bath and get a little rubber duck out. Oh wait, what is this? It's a rubber duck. Now this is actually a type of fish finder, so we're going to cast it out and it'll read out depth on this little gadget here. So yeah, nifty little thing. Doesn't get very deep in your bathtub normally, does it? No, so yeah, we'll see what kind of depth we're at. That's a plus. Okay, so Mike's just cast it out. It's just waiting to feed back.
A few moments later.
Oh, is it going to work on camera?
later.
Oh, it's picking it up. Yep, there you go. And you can see just on the receiver, we're around 3.6 meters. So I can't read. 5.6 meters. Quite interesting. According to this, we're picking up fish. How accurate it is, we don't know. But it's a little gadget, and why not? Armed with the very best science that Temu could offer, I was convinced that this would be the time to catch. After all, science does not lie. For what seemed to be a millionth cast, again I sent that dongle out of range. This time I put a big bit of mackerel on the end, hoping that more scent in the water could attract something different. Even a conger reel, as much as it pains me to try and catch one. But alas, the same result occurred, and 0 fish were caught. Mike changed tactic and was fishing close in. I was focusing at fishing at range, and hoping to see if somebody would get something. So just doing a cheeky little overhead cast again, just gets you good distance and nice firm footing, especially on this little beach here, get you some quite good range. And unfortunately, this did not work. I was getting desperate at this point, and honestly contemplating everything I knew about fishing. If cold hard science was not going to be the answer, then divine intervention would be the best thing. Then I remembered something, the story of the witch doctor. The locals warn me, do not talk to the witch doctor. Some have rumoured that he has powerful skills so great that he can conjure fish from the actual pebbles of the beach. Anyways, I chinned this advice off and sought his wisdom, and he said to me, eat this bit of seaweed, it is nutritious, and you shall catch a fish. So that trip to the local witch doctor hasn't really seemed to have paid off so far. Yeah, it's been, to be honest, pretty bad. We've had a few bites, don't get me wrong, but it's just not really come to anything, and it's just been absolutely dire. The only thing I can think of is quite a bright day today, and the fish may not be on the feed, but it is what it is, so you've got to keep going and plugging on. And suddenly, out of absolutely nowhere, the curse had finally been broken, and the witch doctor was right. I could honestly barely hold on to the end of this rod. It was really putting up a scrap, and lo and behold, out of the breakers emerged the rare, lesser spotted white bin bag. These species can grow up to 180 litres and contain a lot of rubbish, but hey, it was a thing, and I had finally broken the curse, and Mike was so jealous. Personally, I do prefer a bag for life, or a little special, but hey, the white bin bag was a rare species, and it was coming home with me. So I've just been wandering on the beach, and I've actually found something that's quite rare, and it's called a sea hedgehog. And oh my god, what's he got here? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 rods out. It's called desperation, mate. Yeah, it's getting to that point now where anything goes. If I had dynamite, a hand grenade, I'd probably be using that too. However, that's probably not very good for the environment. So yeah, that kind of sums up the session so far. So I'm just in the process of baiting up at the moment, and I thought I'd show you what we're using. So yes, we are using ragworm, this disgusting, horrible creature, what I affectionately like to know as a hagworm, because they are just naggy, horrible, bitey things. Yeah, they make great bait for the smaller species around the coast, and also some of the bigger stuff. With the last of the ragworm baited up, it was time for the final casts. Generally on this beach, it feels like you're on a desert. It's just nothingness other than shingle, well, and water, which is a bit stupid for a desert really, because, yeah, and oh god, hang on. He's got delirious. He's actually gone delirious. For desperation set in. Oh, it's the only fun we've had. Yeah, it's been absolutely dire, and I think we're going to pack up in a minute and head back and hang our heads in shame. Tell you what, there's no feeling that can describe what it's like to potentially blank on a fishing session. It's so disheartening, especially when you drive a fair distance to get somewhere. You get there nice and early, you get up at stupid o'clock in the morning, you neglect breakfast to basically have have absolutely nothing. It shouldn't really bother you at the end of the day, but sometimes, it's so disheartening. Yeah, we're giving it our all day. Literally tried everything under the sun, quite literally under the sun, because it is baking at the moment. And yeah, nothing's worked. Sometimes the fish are there, and other times they're absolutely not. And today is a case when they're absolutely not there. With nothing else happening, we packed up and began the slow hike back to the car. So we just got back to the car, and yeah, it was a pretty disappointing session. Had bites that first hour, and after that it completely died off. We tried absolutely everything, different baits, different casting distances, different weights, you name it, we tried it, and we still could not get a bite. Quite similar story across the beach. A lot of people packed up. Don't know if it was too sunny for the fish and they just weren't feeding. I have no idea, but it is what it is at the end of the day. What I am really disappointed about is not the fishing, is the fact that on the way back we filled up 2 full bags of rubbish, and I'm not just talking small bags, big bags of rubbish that people just left on the beach. That's campers, people who've just been day tripping, and I really hate to say it, is so-called fishermen. If you're going to go out on the beach or the coast or just anywhere in the countryside, or just anywhere in fact, why litter? It's just the most lazy thing you could possibly do. But what I'm going to ask of you guys and girls is one thing. It's just, if you're going to go out and enjoy the countryside, just do one thing for me and just pick up an extra bit of rubbish. Even if you've not dropped it, just pick it up and take it home, or just get rid of it in a bin. If every single person does that in the UK and around the world, can you think how much of a cleaner place the world will be? But anyways, let's end it on a positive note. I did really enjoy myself still, even though I was going stir crazy towards the end, and the rubbish really has riled me up, to be honest. It's been a great day. I've got to see my mate, gone out fishing, and I've enjoyed the sun. But anyway, hopefully next time we go out fishing we'll do all right. And fingers crossed, and that'll be on a boat. But if you like what you've seen in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to leave a comment down in the section below, help yourself. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next video. If you like what you've seen, check out our Instagram for more adventures.